Hello everybody, it's Mr. Burlingame. I'm going to teach you how to stitch and straighten or merge images in Photoshop. Um, let's begin. So you can open up Photoshop. There's several different ways you can do this. You can also do this through Adobe Bridge, but I'm going to show you the way through Photoshop. You want to go to File, Automate in Photoshop, and go down to Photo Merge. And keep in mind I'm on a touchpad here, a trackpad. It's kind of a pain in the butt to do things. When you see the photo merge window, please leave it on auto for this purpose, for this project's purpose only. Leave it on auto, and you're going to see this window appear. There's no files under source files. You want to click Browse, and I need you to browse to the extracted images from the zip files you should have downloaded. Now, if you downloaded them, they're probably in your downloads folder, but I've already downloaded mine, and I've double-clicked the zip file. And after I double-click the zip file, it creates a folder, and the folder is the same name. I've left mine in Academy Photos group. It should look something like this right here. You should see a zip file, and you should see all of your images after you've double-clicked it using your Finder. Very important, you cannot access the zip file in Photoshop. That is just a compressed file. You need to extract those by double-clicking them in your downloads folder and then drag that folder to either your desktop or your pictures or wherever you save your images. So select all the images in that zip file and then click open. They will load under source files and simply click OK. Now right now it's going to run for a little bit. It's actually finding the seams of the image, all the images, and it's overlapping them. It's creating a mask. It's basically stitching them together or merging them together. It might take a little while, like it is right now, but eventually it will be put together. So I'm going to pause this. And I'm back. It took about 2 minutes, but it is stitched together. And the reason why we stitched this together, guys, is so you get a higher res image. Notice how clear these are. If you were to shoot this zoomed back with one lens in one shot, you'd have to have a really large sensor to be able to capture this clear like this. And this lesson is stitch and straighten. So I'm going to teach you how to straighten it now. But before we continue, I want you to look at the layers panel over here. Look at the layers panel over here. And notice each layer is put in its appropriate position, and a mask is created by Photoshop, overlapping and finding where the lines or where the seams match up. With all these layers selected, they should already be selected. If not, hold down Shift and select them all. You need to hit Command E to merge those together. That's your first step. You're not going to be able to straighten with selecting one or two of the layers. They all have to be mashed together. So let's go ahead and merge them together. And now we have one layer. Let's go ahead and straighten it now. I don't know if you see this, but it's running downhill. It's lower here than it is here. The straighten tool is underneath your eyedropper tool. If you press the letter I on your keyboard, I don't know what's eyedropper's I, but I, and then click and hold that eyedropper tool and go down to the ruler tool. The ruler tool. Now with the ruler tool, you want to click and drag a horizontal line that you think is straight. Now I'm just touching the tips of their feet. I don't know if you see that. I started, I clicked, I drug to the right, and then I let go. I've created a ruler line that runs along their feet right here because I know that the bench is straight. And once you've created that line, on the options bar there's a button called Straighten Layer. Hit Straighten Layer and it'll run for just a second, and watch it. Here it goes, here it goes. Did you all see that? See how it tipped or it flipped? Now it's pretty straight. And you can kind of get an idea of how straight it is by holding down Command and hitting your your apostrophe key. That gives you the grid. And you can kind of look at the grid lines and see how straight your images are. Hit Command and apostrophe to make that go away. And now it's pretty straight. Perfect. Now we're going to hit C for our crop tool. And over here, just make sure you got the crop tool. You don't have any of these crazy other tools, but the crop tool. Once you have the crop tool, I want you to pull the top down, choop, the bottom up, choop, the left in, ching, ching. and the right end. And let me show you one more thing with the crop tool. If you get off a little bit, you can click inside the image and move the image inside the crop, if that makes any sense. Sometimes it's a little easier, but for this case, I'm just going to pull the corners in, and once you get it exactly like you like it, hit your checkbox, and voila, you have a cropped version of what you want. And I want you to crop it something like this. Don't cut anyone's heads off, or anyone's feet, or anyone's arms or arms. That's what I want. Now I want you to make a JPEG. File, save as, and make you a JPEG. Save the quality at 5 or lower. And the only reason why I want you to do that is so it's a quicker upload. If you save it at 12 or even 10 or even 8, it's going to be a huge file. See, right now this file is 130 meg, 130.5 megs right now. That's pretty big. Edmodo's max meg is 50. Okay, now I'm going to name this ADC, and when I click JPEG and click Save, I'm going to get the quality slider. Remember what I said? 5 or lower. Now if I bring this thing way on down to say 3, I'm going to sit here and wait. The size, look at the size, 2.4 megs, as opposed to 12, that's how big it is crunched up as a JPEG. See, open is 130 megs, but close is 24.1 megs. That's still big, guys. Put that at 3 or 4, somewhere around there. Click OK, and that's what you upload. And that's what we're going to be working on in the next lesson, changing some of these colors, these reds, these oranges, the blues, to green. I'll see y'all later. See ya.